Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca, and as you saw from the title of today's video, we are looking at my TBR based on the 2024 GOODREADS Choice Awards nominees. I may have gone a little ham in the bookstore. I might have, and as someone who's been reading romance predominantly for the last 2.5 years, I forgot how expensive hardbacks were. So I only let myself get 6 books, I think. And I got a couple physically at the store, and then I noticed that Target and Amazon had a buy two get one free sale going on. And so I shopped that a little bit and used that to my advantage to get the rest. Still ended up being very expensive, but I think it's going to be worth it because these are books that I have wanted to read through, I don't know, the last 6 or 7 months. Some of them since January because they've been out that long, and I just have not been in the mood to read anything other than romance, but romance is not doing it for me right now, and honestly, it couldn't have picked a better time for that part of my brain to shut off and for me to want something else because this stack here has a lot. Now, I will say there are 2 romances in this stack because I feel like eventually I'm going to read through either the thriller section, fantasy, or whatever, and then want that, so I did put a couple of those in there, but let's get into it. So I made a video on Wednesday talking about all of the nominees and the books that interested me, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to choose from all of those nominees of what I wanted to read for the vlog I'm going to do based on those. And honestly, I just decided to follow my heart instead of trying to like fully gamify it because I thought, oh, maybe I'll read a genre I haven't read it all year and I'll read every book that was nominated. But then I was looking, and between trying to find it at the bookstore, Libby, and just find ways that were accessible, I was like, that feels a little impossible. And then I started looking at what I already had between my Kindle library, my Libro library. I had a couple things on Audible, and then some things that I already had holds for going in Libby, or were either already on my shelves or are about to come off of hold. And so I was like, you know what? Let's use what we can and what we have within our means, and then gamify that list. So that's what we're going to do. So today I'm just going to talk to you about what I found, what I already have. And then in the vlog, the games will happen. Wheels will come out and I will decide at random what I'm going to read. It could be based off of page length. It could be based off of the book maybe being up for other awards. It could be something random like me saying I have to read something in an audio format because I have several of these on audio. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, but I am going to have fun with it, and I hope you'll be along for the ride with me. So let's talk about the books that I physically cannot show you, but that I have. And so I'll throw their covers up. So let's start with the Kindle one. So I have Sandwich by Catherine Newman, Margot's Got Money Troubles by Rufi Thorpe. Okay, the entire romanticy section is almost all on Kindle Unlimited, or I already had copies. So that was The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen, The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen, Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Moss, Feybound by Sarah El-Arifi, and The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. Then we also have The Family Experiment by John Mars. This is a sci-fi novel. And then for the audio picks that I have 5 Broken Blades by Mike Herland. This is on the fantasy list. I Shouldn't Be Telling You This by Chelsea Devontes. James by Percival Everett. This also just got announced as Barnes & Noble's 2024 Book of the Year. The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Those are both mystery thrillers. And then I have Funny Story by Emily Henry and Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood on the romance section. Both of those are as audiobooks. So now let's get into what I physically have. Oh my God, this stack is so heavy. So I have Daydream by Hannah Grace, Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver, The Truth According to Ember by Danica Neva, Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. I cannot get over the cover. This is so vibrant and so beautiful. The Wedding People by Alison Esbach. This was not my most anticipated book of the year going into the year, but after everything I've heard about it, I think it is now. First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. The synopsis of this grabbed me, and I couldn't be more pleased to have a physical copy of this now. I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. Traditionally, horror is not for me, but I am trying to make it for me, and this just seems fun. Small town Texas. Lots of chaos and teenagers. What could go wrong? The Other Valley by Scott Alexander Howard. I don't think I've read a synopsis this year that has intrigued me as much as this has. The idea of there being a parallel version of your town literally just outside the borders is wild to me. And then the book that the internet heard around the world, Martyr by Kaveh Akbar, I've heard nothing but phenomenal things. Like, I have not seen a rating lower than I think 4 for this book, which is unheard of. Goodreads loves to shit on things, and the fact that they're not means that this book is incredible. And so those are all of the books that I have available to me. This is quite the stack. I know that. I also know that I am very fortunate to, at this time, have expendable income to go and pick up these titles, and I am eternally grateful for that opportunity. Honestly, my life is not always like that, and I don't want you to look at this and go, oh, I want to participate in something like this, but I don't have access. That is A-okay. You don't have to do these kinds of things. I think sometimes we watch booktube and we're like, wow, people have all of this access to things, and I want that, or I want to be able to do that. 1, it's a lot of work. And 2, sometimes it comes at great cost. So be mindful of that. So speaking of great cost, what we're going to do instead is switch to what I have accessible to me from my library. I'm going to put these down so I don't accidentally smash my dog. Please move. Okay, this one I already had physically checked out, and that's Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. And then switching to the Libby app, I actually just got a notification before I started this video that Beautyland by Marie-Helene Bertino became available for me. And then looking on my holds, I actually have the audio for First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. It says it's going to be available soon. I'm 10th in line. There's 25 copies in use, so we'll see. The Other Valley, which I also physically have a copy of, says I have roughly 2 weeks until that comes in, so maybe that will come in time for me to do a tandem read. Same thing with Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. I have that one on my Kindle, but it says I'm at roughly 5 weeks on the hold for my library, but they also have just acquired another copy since I put it on the hold list. The rest of them are 7, 8, 13 weeks out, so I highly doubt that that'll happen. Like, I'm looking at I Was a Teenage Slashers at 17 weeks out, so I don't think that will be coming around anytime soon, but I am going to use my library if I get the opportunity. I might even check and see if they physically have copies of Middle of the Night, and there was another title that I kind of wanted to like physically read, and I'm not thinking of it at this moment. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this by Chelsea Devontes. I just realized I also physically have 5 Broken Blades by Mike Corland. I forgot. I pre-ordered this at the beginning of the year solely because look at those. I'm normally not one to be gotten by sprayed edges, but this book is gorgeous. And when I saw the mock-up for it, I was like, I have to get this. And this is not a special edition in that it wasn't one of those books that was, you know, limited edition from a book box or something. Like, this is just a Barnes & Noble pre-order, like a regular one. Wild. So I have this as well. I just know for myself, fantasy is something that I do well with on audio. And when I saw the audiobook on sale, I just nabbed it. So I expect to tandem read those two together. Now, I am a realist, and I know that there is no way in hell that I'm going to get through all of these books in the next 10 to 12 days. There's just no way. But I'm going to try and read as much as I can, and maybe I'll even do it in a part 2 and do that. I have been thinking about, do I read the ones that I want to up front, and then the ones that I think are going to be finalists, do I read that once it's been whittled down, and we'll see if I'm correct or not? I don't know, but I'm excited to get into all of these. I'm excited to share all of this with you. If you are using this as an opportunity to also catch up on brand new titles from this year, I would love to know your thoughts on the Goodreads Choice Awards in general. Any nominees you thought you would be in there that aren't in there? There are several that I thought of, and I can't think of titles right now, but I just remember kind of scrolling through and go, kind of surprised that book's not there. I also noticed in some categories, like in sci-fi and I think mystery thriller, there were books in there with like less than 1,000 reviews, which is wild to me. Like, they had high ratings, but I would expect higher ratings for a book that only has like 500 reviews, but anyway, just my 2 cents. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited for the vlog to come. And I will see you all with another video soon.